Hello, and welcome back to Chunking to Fluency, your go-to place for learning English naturally, one chunk at a time. In today's part 2 of a 4-part series, we'll be working with another 25 slow English sentences, all designed for intermediate level learners. Inside each sentence, you'll find useful phrases and expressions, or chunks, that real native speakers use every day. Just listen closely and shadow what you hear. That means repeating each phrase out loud, first with the speaker, then by yourself, at a comfortable, slow pace. This method will help you build fluency, confidence, and automatic recall. So get ready to speak, repeat, and improve, one chunk at a time. Ready? Let's do this!
Rain or shine, here's a chunk for go-getters. Portuguese, decidiram continuar. In English, decided to continue. Decided to continue. This phrase shows determination, and in this case, it's what winners say when things get soggy. Let's hear a good example. Português, mesmo com chuva, eles decidiram continuar o passeio. English, even with rain, they decided to continue the tour. Even with rain, they decided to continue the tour.
All right, this one's for the procrastinators and the crashed computers. Português, terminar o relatório. English, to finish the report. To finish the report. You're focused, you're typing, and then, boom, system crash. Classic. Here it is in an example sentence. Português, não consegui terminar o relatório porque o sistema caiu. English, I couldn't finish the report because the system went down. I couldn't finish the report because the system went down.
Let's talk tech, specifically shutting it down the right way. Português, desligar o computador. English, to shut down the computer. To shut down the computer. It sounds simple, but don't just yank the plug. Be nice to your machine. Português, você precisa desligar o computador corretamente para evitar problemas. English, you need to shut down the computer properly to avoid problems. You need to shut down the computer properly to avoid problems.
Here comes a nostalgic chunk. Remember your first big moment? Português, a primeira vez. English, the first time. The first time. Whether it's driving, public speaking, or skydiving, there's always a first time. Let's hear it in action. Português, a primeira vez que ele dirigiu sozinho foi muito emocionante. English, the first time he drove alone was very exciting. The first time he drove alone was very exciting.
Okay, this one's all about conditions, literally. Português, antes de continuar. English, before continuing. Before continuing. Think of it as the verbal pause button. Everything's on hold until this gets done. Português, Estamos esperando uma resposta da empresa antes de continuar o projeto. English. We're waiting for a response from the company before continuing the project. We're waiting for a response from the company before continuing the project.
All right, this is a good one if you're searching for a better job and it's career-related. Português. Melhores oportunidades de emprego. English. Better job opportunities. Better job opportunities. This chunk is the main reason many people start learning English. Big dreams, better futures, better job. A good example would be Português. Eles querem aprender inglês para conseguir melhores oportunidades de emprego. English. They want to learn English to get better job opportunities. They want to learn English to get better job opportunities.
Now this one's for those of us who just can't make it on time. Em português, se atrasou para a aula. English, was late for class. Was late for class. Maybe traffic, maybe the alarm clock, maybe Netflix. Either way, we've all been there. Here it is in a sentence. Português. Ela se atrasou para a aula porque o ônibus demorou muito. English. She was late for class because the bus took too long. She was late for class because the bus took too long.
Here's one for when your favorite website decides to take a nap. Português. Esteja em manutenção. English. Be under maintenance. Be under maintenance. This chunk explains those annoying error pages that always pop up right when you're trying to do something important. An example sentence would be: Português. O site não está funcionando. Talvez esteja em manutenção. English. The website isn't working. It might be under maintenance. The website isn't working. It might be under maintenance.
Coming up, a bittersweet phrase that often involves cake and awkward speeches. Português, festa de despedida. English, farewell party. Farewell party. Goodbyes are hard, but at least there's usually snacks. Português, estamos organizando uma pequena festa de despedida para nosso colega. English, we're organizing a small farewell party for our colleague. We're organizing a small farewell party for our colleague.
If you've ever burned toast or undercooked spaghetti, this one's for you. Português. Cozinhar muito bem. English. To cook very well. To cook very well. Not all of us are chefs, but we can still try. Let's hear it in a sentence. Português. Ele não sabe cozinhar muito bem, mas está tentando aprender. English. He doesn't know how to cook very well, but he's trying to learn. He doesn't know how to cook very well, but he's trying to learn.
Time for a polite, flexible chunk phrase that opens doors. Português, se você quiser. English, if you want. If you want. This chunk works for invitations, suggestions, or just keeping things chill. A good example would be: Português, se você quiser, posso revisar seu texto antes de você enviar. English, If you want, I can review your text before you send it. If you want, I can review your text before you send it.
This one's for big moments and proud families. Português, se formar na universidade. English, to graduate from university. To graduate from university. Caps fly, cameras flash, grandma cries. The graduation moment. You have officially arrived. Here's a good example sentence for you. Português, minha irmã vai se formar na universidade no próximo mês. English, my sister is going to graduate from university next month. My sister is going to graduate from university next month.
Next up, one of those chunks that makes your travel plans fall apart. Em português, cancelaram todos os voos. English, canceled all flights. Canceled all flights. Nothing says adventure like sleeping in an airport chair, right? Not cool. Not cool at all. Here's a good example sentence. Portuguese. O tempo estava tão ruim que cancelaram todos os voos. English. The weather was so bad that they canceled all flights. The weather was so bad that they canceled all flights.
This one's optimistic, the kind of phrase that says we'll be back. Português, pretender voltar. English, to plan to return. To plan to return. It's what people say when they really liked the trip or the food. Let's hear it in a good example. Português, eles gostaram muito do hotel e pretendem voltar no ano que vem. English, they really like the hotel and plan to return next year. They really like the hotel and plan to return next year.
And now we're diving into business talk again. Em português, discutir os detalhes. To discuss the details. To discuss the details. This chunk is perfect for serious meetings or planning a surprise birthday party. Português, precisamos nos encontrar mais cedo para discutir os detalhes. English, we need to meet earlier to discuss the details. We need to meet earlier to discuss the details.
And here's a phrase we all dread when loading a web page. Português, a internet está lenta. English, the internet is slow. Say it again. The internet is slow. When your screen's frozen and the video won't load, yep, this chunk speaks the truth. Listen to the following example. Português. A internet está lenta hoje. Deve estar com algum problema. English. The internet is slow today. There must be some issue. The internet is slow today. There must be some issue.
This next chunk is the ultimate compliment for a beginner who nails it. Português, ótimo trabalho. English, a great job. Whether it's a painting, a presentation, or just finally folding your laundry, a little praise goes a long way. Listen to this chunk in action. Português, embora não tenha experiência, ela fez ótimo trabalho. English, even though she has no experience, she did a great job. Even though she has no experience, she did a great job.
Here's a good chunk phrase for the curious creatives out there. Português, curso de fotografia. English, a photography course. A photography course. It's what you take when you're tired of blurry phone pics and want to go full National Geographic. Listen to it in the following sentence. Português, você já pensou em fazer curso de fotografia? English, have you ever thought about taking a photography course? Have you ever thought about taking a photography course?
Snack time. Português, levar lanche. English, to bring a snack. To bring a snack. Essential for road trips, long meetings, or just surviving Mondays. An example. Português, vou levar lanche, caso a viagem seja longa. English, I'll bring a snack in case the trip is long. I'll bring a snack in case the trip is long.
This chunk is a whole lifestyle vibe. Português, jantar fora aos sábados. English, to eat out on Saturdays. To eat out on Saturdays. It's the classic weekend routine. Skip the dishes and hit your favorite spot. Hear it expressed in a good example sentence. Português, eles costumam jantar fora aos sábados para relaxar depois da semana. English, they usually eat out on Saturdays to relax after the week. They usually eat out on Saturdays to relax after the week.
Coming up next, the student's weekly struggle. Português, entregarmos o trabalho. English, to hand in the assignment. To hand in the assignment. Usually followed by, wait, was that due today? Listen to the following example. Português, o professor pediu para entregarmos o trabalho até segunda-feira. English, the teacher asked us to hand in the assignment by Monday. The teacher asked us to hand in the assignment by Monday.
A race against time is real. Português, antes que a loja feche. English, before the store closes. Before the store closes. This is that last-minute gift dash. Full sprint and no regrets. Português, preciso comprar presente antes que a loja feche. English, I need to buy a gift before the store closes. I need to buy a gift before the store closes.
Hydration check. Português, se sentir melhor. English, to feel better. To feel better. Whether you're tired, sick, or just low energy, this chunk's your go-to. An example would be, Português, se você beber muita água, vai se sentir melhor. English, if you drink plenty of water, you'll feel better. If you drink plenty of water, you'll feel better.
Okay, this one's poetic. Em português, a vista do topo. Now in English, the view from the top. The view from the top. It could be a mountain, a building, or life itself. Always a great view. Let's hear it in action. Português, A vista do topo da montanha era simplesmente incrível. English, the view from the top of the mountain was simply amazing. The view from the top of the mountain was simply amazing.
Now let's deliver this next chunk, literally. Em português, o serviço de entrega. English, the delivery service. The delivery service. We live in the age of delivery. Food, furniture, flamingo pool floats. You name it. We're spoiled rotten, aren't we? Listen to this chunk in the following sentence. Português, o serviço de entrega está mais rápido do que antes. English, the delivery service is faster than it used to be. The delivery service is faster than it used to be.
We hope you learned something new today with these English chunks and that you're feeling more confident with each phrase you practice. Thanks so much for listening and for being a part of the Chunking to Fluency community. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and share it with someone who's also learning English. And of course, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell icon so you never miss a chance to increase your fluency. See you in the next lesson. Be blessed.